Yo, so Keke Palmer's name is trending for all the wrong reasons right now. And honestly, the whole situation is way messier than anyone expected. We're talking about leaked footage, public humiliation, and Blueface basically turning the whole thing into one big joke, while Kiki's reportedly spiraling behind closed doors. Let me break down exactly what went down, because this story has layers that nobody saw coming. It all started with what looked like an innocent Pilates session on Instagram Live. Yeah, you heard that right, Pilates. But trust me, this was anything but your typical workout stream. So picture this. Keke Palmer shows up on Blueface's live stream, supposedly to demonstrate some Pilates moves and talk about creative energy. The initial vibe was chill. They were laughing, joking around, and fans in the comments were loving the unexpected crossover. But here's where things took a turn. Blueface started getting flirty. And I'm not talking subtle hints. This man was shooting his shot live in front of thousands of people. At one point, while Keke was stretching, he straight up told her to go lower. The energy shift was immediate. You could feel it through the screen. And the crazy part? Keke didn't shut it down. She was smiling, blushing, even flirting back. The chemistry between them was so obvious that viewers started screen recording immediately. People in the comments were losing their minds because nobody expected to see Keke Palmer in this kind of situation, especially not with Blueface of all people. Things got even more interesting when Keke casually called Blueface's engineer Boo. You should have seen Blueface's face. The jealousy was written all over it. But instead of making things awkward, it actually seemed to fuel the tension between them. They were going back and forth with this flirty banter that had everyone watching like, wait, is this really happening? After the workout portion ended, they didn't just end the stream. They stayed on talking about a music project they were allegedly working on together. They discussed creative chemistry, timing, and how some connections just feel natural. Now, at this point, fans were already. The internet went crazy. Screenshots and clips from the live spread everywhere. People were making edits, reaction videos, memes, the whole 9 yards. Keke Palmer was trending for hours, and most people were shocked to see her in this light. She's usually so composed and professional, but here she was, openly vibing with Blueface on live. But here's where everything went left. Fast forward a few days, and suddenly there's allegedly this private video circulating online. And when I say private, I mean private. The kind of footage that was never supposed to see daylight. Sources close to Keke say she was completely blindsided when it surfaced. The video spread faster than anyone could contain it. Within hours, it was everywhere. Twitter, Reddit, Telegram groups, you name it. And Keke? She went completely silent. Her Instagram, her Twitter, everything just stopped. No statements, no stories, no damage control attempts. Just radio silence. People who know Keke personally say she's been laying extremely low, basically hiding from the world while trying to process what happened. The embarrassment hit her hard, especially because she's always been so careful about her public image. This isn't someone who's used to being in messy situations. But what's making this whole thing 10 times worse is how Blueface is handling it. Instead of showing any kind of respect or sympathy for Keke's situation, he's been treating it like one big joke. He's been making sly comments on social media, laughing about it in interviews, and basically acting like the whole thing is hilarious. Sources say Keke feels completely disposable. Like she was just another moment for Blueface's entertainment while she's left dealing with the actual consequences. And honestly, that tracks with everything we know about Blueface's history with women. Let's not forget, this man has a whole track record of messy situations. Remember the whole reality show situation where he had multiple women living in his house competing for his attention? Or the countless times he's aired out personal business on social media? This is his pattern. What makes this even more complicated is that Blueface was supposedly still involved with Nev Akira when all this went down with Keke. Him and Nev had been all over each other's social media, posting together, talking about their relationship publicly. In fact, just weeks before the Keke situation, Blueface was in interviews talking about potentially starting a family with Nev. So where does that leave Keke in all this? Was she aware of the Nev situation? Did she think this was something different? We don't have those answers because Keke hasn't said a word publicly about any of it. The contrast between how they're handling this is stark. Blueface is out here living his life, posting normally, making jokes, doing interviews. Meanwhile, Keke has essentially disappeared from public view. Friends say she's been staying with family, avoiding social media completely, and trying to figure out her next move. What's really sad about this whole situation is how it's affecting Keke's reputation. She spent years building this image as a multi-talented entertainer who can do everything: act, sing, host, produce. She's been grinding since she was a kid, from Nickelodeon to major Hollywood films. And now she's trending for this. The comments under her old posts are brutal. People are bringing up her past relationship with Darius Jackson, her baby daddy, and how she went from dealing with his public criticism of her to now being caught up in Blueface drama. The narrative around her has completely shifted, and that's got to be devastating for someone who's worked so hard on their career. Industry insiders are saying this could affect her upcoming projects. Keke had several things in the works: potential hosting gigs, acting roles, brand partnerships. Now everything's up in the air because brands don't want to be associated with this kind of scandal. It's the harsh reality of how quickly things can change in Hollywood. Blueface, on the other hand, this is just another Tuesday for him. His fan base expects this kind of behavior. If anything, the controversy probably helps his brand because he's built his whole persona around being messy and controversial. He thrives in chaos. But there's another layer to this that people aren't talking about enough. The whole situation raises serious questions about consent and respect. If this video was really leaked without Keke's permission, that's a massive violation. And Blueface joking about it instead of condemning the leak says everything about his character. Some of Keke's fans have been trying to rally support for her online, using hashtags and calling out the double standard in how she's being treated versus how Blueface is being treated. They're pointing out that she's facing way more backlash and embarrassment even though they were both involved. The sad truth is, this kind of situation always hits women harder. Blueface can laugh it off and move on, but Keke has to deal with the judgment, the shame, the career implications. It's not fair, but it's the reality of how these situations play out in the public eye. What's interesting is that neither Blueface's team nor Keke's team has released any official statements about the situation. Usually, publicists would be all over this, trying to control the narrative. The silence from both camps is telling. Either they're hoping it'll blow over, or they're still figuring out how to address it. Meanwhile, Nevakira has been posting cryptic messages on her Instagram stories. Things like "loyalty is everything" and "real ones know the truth." She hasn't directly addressed the Keke situation, but fans are reading between the lines. Some think she's throwing shade at Keke, others think she's calling out Blueface. The whole triangle is messy, and it's only getting more complicated as more details emerge. There are rumors that this isn't even the first time Blueface and Keke linked up. Some people are saying they've been moving in the same circles for months, possibly collaborating on music that never saw the light of day. If that's true, it changes the whole narrative. This wouldn't just be a random hookup that went wrong. It could be a situation that was building for a while. That might explain why Keke seemed so comfortable during that live stream, why the chemistry was so obvious. But again, without Keke speaking up, we're all just speculating. And that silence is probably strategic. Her team might be advising her to stay quiet until the storm passes. Sometimes the best move is to not make any moves at all. The problem is, the internet doesn't forget. Even if Keke stays silent and waits for this to blow over, the footage is out there forever. The memes are already made. The jokes have been told. This is now part of her story, whether she likes it or not. What's really messed up is that Keke was just starting to get back to a good place after all the drama with her ex. Remember when Darius Jackson publicly criticized her for wearing that outfit to the Usher concert? She handled that with so much grace, stood her ground, and came out looking strong and independent. Now she's dealing with something arguably worse because at least with the Darius situation, she could control her narrative. She could post her response, share her side, stand up for herself. With this leaked footage situation, she doesn't have that same control. The damage is already done. Blueface seems to be enjoying the attention, though. He's been more active on social media since this happened, going live more often, dropping hints and making inside jokes that fans are dissecting. He knows exactly what he's doing, keeping the conversation going without directly addressing it. That's his MO, though. Create chaos, enjoy the attention, then move on to the next controversy. Remember when he was throwing money in the hood and filming it? Or when he had his artist Christian Rock's face tattooed on him? The man lives for viral moments, and this situation with Keke is just another one for his collection. Some people in the industry are saying this was calculated from the start. That Blueface knew exactly what he was doing when he invited Keke on that live stream. The flirting, the chemistry, all of it could have been part of a bigger plan to create buzz. And if that's true, then Keke got played in the worst way possible. Industry friends of Keke have been notably quiet about the whole situation. Usually when something like this happens, you see fellow celebrities posting support or at least acknowledging the situation. But the silence from her Hollywood peers is deafening. Maybe they're being respectful of her privacy, or maybe they just don't want to be associated with the mess. The only person who's really spoken up is Tease Madison, who went on her show and basically said that Keke needs to own it and move forward. She said hiding isn't going to make it go away, and that the best thing Keke can do is address it head on. Whether that's good advice or not depends on your perspective. Some fans think Keke should absolutely stay silent and let this pass. Others think she needs to control the narrative before it controls her. There's no perfect answer in situations like this. Whatever she chooses, there'll be criticism. The legal implications are another aspect people aren't discussing enough. If this video was leaked without consent, that's potentially a crime in many states. California, where both Keke and Blueface are based, has revenge porn laws. But pursuing legal action would mean keeping this in the public eye even longer. Blueface probably isn't worried about legal consequences, though. This isn't his first rodeo with controversy, and he's got lawyers on speed dial. Plus, proving who actually leaked the footage could be complicated. Was it him? Someone from his team? Someone who hacked into something? Without clear evidence, legal action might go nowhere. What's really telling is how different their fan bases are reacting. Keke's fans are protective, supportive, and angry on her behalf. They're calling for respect and privacy. Blueface's fans, they're laughing, making memes, and asking for more details. It shows the completely different worlds these two people come from. The generational divide in reactions is interesting too. Older fans who followed Keke since her Nickelodeon days are heartbroken seeing her in this situation. Younger fans who mainly know her from memes and viral moments are less sympathetic. They see it as just another celebrity scandal to consume. Social media algorithms are making this worse for Keke too. Even if you're not searching for the content, it's being pushed on timelines because of the engagement it's getting. Every joke, every meme, every reaction video just amplifies the situation and makes it harder for her to escape. Meanwhile, Blueface's streaming numbers have reportedly gone up since this happened. His music is getting more plays. His social media following is growing. For him, this controversy is literally profitable. That's the sick reality of how the entertainment industry works sometimes. The conversation around this has also brought up bigger issues about how we consume celebrity scandals. Why are we so quick to judge? Why do we share private moments that were never meant for us? Why do we turn someone's humiliation into entertainment? These are questions worth asking, but they won't change what happened to Keke. She still has to wake up every day knowing that footage is out there, that people are watching it, sharing it, making jokes about it. That's a weight nobody should have to carry. Some therapists who work with celebrities have spoken generally about how these kinds of public humiliations can lead to serious mental health issues. The anxiety, the depression, the trust issues that come from having your privacy violated on such a massive scale. Keke's probably going through all of that right now. The question now is, where does Keke go from here? Does she address it and risk bringing more attention to it? Does she stay silent and hope people move on to the next scandal? Does she pursue legal action? Does she continue working with Blueface on whatever project they had planned? Each option has risks and benefits. Addressing it could help her control the narrative, but might also extend the news cycle. Staying silent preserves some dignity, but lets others define the story. Legal action could bring justice, but definitely keeps this in the headlines. As for working with Blueface again, that seems highly unlikely. Even if they had the best song in the world ready to go, the optics of them collaborating now would be terrible. That bridge is probably burned forever. What's certain is that this situation has changed both of their trajectories. For Blueface, it's just another chapter in his chaotic story. For Keke, it's a devastating plot twist in what was supposed to be her comeback year. The entertainment industry is watching to see how this plays out. How Keke handles this could set a precedent for how other celebrities deal with similar situations. Will she emerge stronger? Will she rebrand? Will she take a break from the spotlight? Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, the internet is undefeated when it comes to never letting people forget their worst moments. Keke Palmer deserved better than this, and Blueface? Well, he's probably already planning his next controversy. So what do you think about this whole situation? Is there any coming back from this for Keke? Or is this going to follow her forever? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and if you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button for more entertainment news and celebrity updates.